This is the latest in the Jim Miller versus Daniel Cormier saga. It all started back when Daniel Cormier said Jim Miller does not deserve a spot in the UFC Hall of Fame. Jim Miller says, I am nearing the end of my career, my third Daniel Cormier career. I'm still here. I'm still performing. I'm still a dangerous guy, tripling the champ, tripling his time in the octagon. So Jim Miller is highlighting his longevity in the sport, which doesn't happen. This sport is designed to break you, and he's got longevity, man. Time in the octagon, that is an accomplishment. I would say that is. I mean, this guy is still doing it at 40 years old, still racking up wins. It's gotta tip your hat off to that. Daniel Cormier says, I do believe at a point the wins record will be topped. If you put people in the Hall of Fame based on those records and they get topped, then what are they in the Hall of Fame for? I see what Daniel Cormier is saying, but with that said, the double champ thing, what happens if someone comes out and wins 3 championships? Does that now does that now diminish people who only have one title? Right? You get what I'm saying? Because there are some people like a Demetrius Johnson who I believe on the GOAT list should be higher than an Alex Pereira or Pereira, whatever you want to say. Just because Alex won the middleweight title and the light heavyweight title and he had good matchups doesn't mean he's had a better career than Demetrius Johnson. You get me? He has 2 UFC championships, though. He's a double champ. Demetrius Johnson isn't a double champ, but Demetrius Johnson is still someone who won the title, defended it several times, dominant champion, and great fighter. What he did is more impressive to me than Alex Pereira winning the 2 titles. So I hear what DC is saying, but at the same time, there has to be recognition for Jim Miller and his longevity. Longevity matters in a sport like this because it's designed to break you. The practices are designed to break you. The fights themselves are designed to break you. Everybody constantly in your comment section, either calling you a cuck if you're Ian Gary, you know what I'm saying? Or just telling you that you're gonna get knocked out. This is a very designed to break you environment. MMA fans are not like other fans. And the consequences aren't like other consequences. If I missed that last shot at the end of the game, okay, fine. You know, okay. I'm a little sad about it, but I didn't get a concussion. I didn't get fucking Islam Makhachev head kicked like Alexander Volkanovski and, pounded into the fence. Like, I didn't get my leg snapped like Connor. You get me? There's real consequences in the sport of MMA. And consequences to where it's like, bro, like, you may never walk the same again. You may never think the same way again. You know what I'm saying? One knockout could change your life forever. This is as real as it gets. That's what this is. And Jim Miller has managed to make a career out of that. He has managed to make a career in a field that is designed to break you. He said, okay, you're not going to break me. I'm actually going to thrive here, and I'm going to have 53 fights, and I'm going to, I'm going to have a great career where I can open a gym, teach people martial arts, and just fight. Like, I'm a fighter, bro. This is what I do. Jim Miller showed that it's possible. Jim Miller should be recognized for that. The question is, should he be inducted into the Hall of Fame? Because I get what Daniel Cormier is saying too. The Hall of Fame needs to be for the upper echelon people. All of Jim Miller's wins do not add up to the one win that Daniel Cormier has over Stipe Miocic. The one win that he has over Stipe Miocic is worth more than all the wins Jim Miller has combined. And, that matters too. It's like, all right, are we just inducting people into the Hall of Fame because they have a lot of wins or because they have a lot of octagon time? Who were those wins over? Who were his losses to? And Jim Miller has a bunch of good losses, but he also has losses to guys like Joe Selecki. You know what I mean? And I'm not trying to disrespect the Joe Selecki, but there's levels to this game. A loss to John Jones and Stipe, 2 of the GOATs of the sport in their respective weight class, right? Like, literally, the GOAT light heavyweight, John Jones, the GOAT heavyweight, arguably Stipe. I say it's Fedor, but a lot of people say it's Stipe. So, there's no shame in losing to those 2 guys. you could still hold your head up high and say, like, yeah, so what? Like, I lost to one of the all-time greats. Jim Miller, on the other hand, he's got losses to guys like, Joe Selecki, Vince Pichel, Scott Holtzman, Charles Oliveira, that's a good loss. Dan Hooker, that's a good loss. Francisco Trinaldo, Anthony Pettis lost. Dustin Poirier lost. Diego Sanchez lost. Michael Chiesa lost. You got to look at his wins, too, and he's got good wins. He just beat, this guy just won. Nicholas Motor just won pretty nicely. He couldn't get past Jim Miller. Donald Cerrone, these two right here, not the best. A Clay Guida win. Thiago Alves, Joe Lozon, Takanori Gomi. Those are some nice names. Jim Miller is no slouch, and he deserves recognition and respect for what he's been able to achieve inside the octagon and show that, yeah, you can last in a sport that's designed to break you. However, I understand where Daniel Cormier is coming from in the fact that the Hall of Fame needs to be an elite, exclusive club where, you can't just get in off anything. You know what I mean? You can't just get in off anything. So that's my take on it. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. If you agree, disagree, it doesn't matter. Just join the discussion and please follow for more. Thank you. You are appreciated.